Hello, I'm Bob Ackerman, Editor-in-Chief of Signal Magazine, welcoming you to our Signal Magazine executive video, Wrapping Software Licensing in a Blanket Purchase Agreement. Nothing in the field of information technology is more dynamic than software development. For consumers, individual, personal, mobile communications devices are constantly upgraded by weekly downloads of new apps. For large organizations, such as the military services, vital information systems must be upgraded repeatedly and quickly, lest they enter the world of obsolescence. And when it comes to security, obsolescence could be the death knell for any national security organization in a time of crisis. Upgrading security across the breadth of a military service poses several challenges. For the U.S. Navy, one approach to ensuring it receives the most up-to-date security software capabilities available is a blanket purchase agreement. Advocates say it provides software licenses, hardware, subscription renewals, and maintenance services to the service efficiently and without bulky procurement procedures. Discussing how this type of blanket purchase agreement can serve software licensing needs for our U.S. military service are today's guests: Vincent Holtmann, Director of Defense Department and Federal Systems Integrator Accounts for Thundercat Technology, and Chris Townsend, Vice President of Federal at Symantec. Vince is a U.S. Air Force veteran, and he has more than 20 years of experience aligning cybersecurity, DevSecOps, cloud, compute, infrastructure, and data storage solutions for customers. Chris focuses on helping federal customers improve their security positions, drawing on nearly 2 decades of experience in the private sector. So, gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you for having us here today.
Thanks for having us, Bob.
Okay. Vince, I'll turn to you first. What is so important about this approach to Navy-wide software licensing?
Sure. So as a value-added reseller from Thundercat Technology, we're supporting our partner, Symantec, and the Navy in this case, for the blanket purchase agreement, which allows them to acquire nearly any hardware, software, and maintenance solution from Symantec's security portfolio at a dedicated price that's listed on contract. So it's ease of acquisition at a price that's already been pre-negotiated, so it cuts the middleman out for long procurement cycles.
Chris, from Symantec's perspective, what sets apart this blanket purchase agreement from other software licensing awards?
Well, first off, Bob, again, really appreciate being here, and the blanket purchase agreement in many respects is standard in terms of it's a base plus option year contract, 1 year plus 4 option years, $69 million in total valuation. But there are some differences in respect to this BPA, and it really ties in with what you said in the intro. Our customers, especially in respect to cybersecurity, because the cybersecurity environment is evolving so quickly, they really need to purchase the technology as they need it. If you look at the evolution that's taking place today in cybersecurity, as we move more to the cloud and mobile devices and IoT, we need to be able to respond to these needs in a more agile manner, and getting bogged down often through the traditional procurement process where we set requirements and put it RFIs and RFPs really slows that down and impedes that agility. So this BPA really encompasses our entire Symantec security portfolio, which allows the Navy to get the technology they need when they need it.
You think the fact that it encompasses your entire portfolio is what provides advantages over FAR procurements?
Absolutely, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One of the number one challenges we see today in cybersecurity across all of our government agencies is the complexity they have in their security environment. Many tools are purchased reactively. As you see a new threat, you buy a new tool. Now you've got this collection of tools with no ability to integrate, interoperate, automate, and we really need to take a more standards-based approach, and that's certainly not an all Symantec approach, but it's a standards-based, integrated approach to security. So as the Navy looks ahead to things like zero trust, and you hear a lot about zero trust right now in industry, that is a integrated architectural approach to security. It is not a shiny object tool to fix a problem du jour. It is really a change in approach and discipline and business process and how you're securing your environment, and you need an architectural approach which encompasses many technologies, ours and third parties, and integrators like Thundercat as well.
Vince, your take on that from your company's perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our approach that makes it a little bit different and helps to complement Symantec's portfolio of solutions is that we try to align our mission understanding and backgrounds from our military service and supporting all of the federal customers with these types of cybersecurity capabilities. So we really dig into what are the requirements to make sure the right solution is proposed so it's fitting with the mission and the operations that it's going to help to protect in this case. So from our perspective, it is a very small service-able veteran-owned small business. We're bringing our mission expertise with the portfolio of solutions from Symantec to align with mission and help protect the Navy.
Okay. Let's look at what will happen for the Navy when you folks carry out your mission for them. What advantages does this BPA offer the Navy in terms of quality? And I'll ask you first, Vince, and then over to you, Chris.
Yeah, the quality, again, is that the price has been pre-negotiated, so it's us helping them to identify what solutions are available to meet their problem. So instead of focusing on a hard target, hard problem, which is usually the way it's described, we're focusing on the problem first, and then the solution or multiple sets of solutions to give them options. And the advantage of that is that then we have a very tight coupling of capabilities to meet the mission need, and the price has been pre-negotiated. So again, as Chris has brought up, we don't have to go through a lengthy contractual cycle for procurement. It's just identify the problem, identify solutions, government makes a decision to procure, pricing's there, and then they can acquire quickly. So that's the advantage. I say speed to mission, if that's a good term.
Chris?
I'm going to expand on what Vince said. It's really about mission support and how we align to the evolving mission needs and evolving IT complexity that the Navy faces. And it really takes the product discussions off the table, it takes the pricing discussions off the table, and it really allows our account teams, and I know this is an overused term, but really establish that trusted advisor relationship with the Navy in support of their mission. I think one of the biggest challenges we have today in terms of cybersecurity and aligning cybersecurity to many of our government agencies is this arm's length relationship that we almost have to have because of the procurement process. This really breaks that down. We already have the BPA in place. We have pre-negotiated pricing. Now we can have a discussion about how do we solve the mission needs of the Navy. And I've been with Symantec now for 3 years, and I've really tried to educate or change the way that our account teams go to market with our customers. Let's find out what the problem our customers have first and solve that problem, and then we'll worry about products and pricing and all that secondarily, which is, I think too often, and it's our fault as vendors that we tend to have our account teams focus on products first rather than solving the problems, the mission needs of our customers, as Vince pointed out.
So this is almost along the lines of, as a service to the Navy, you're focusing on what the end effect will be for the Navy rather than on the process to get there.
Absolutely. We need to be more outcome-based. And sorry, Vince.
Yeah.
No, that was for you.
Yeah, we need to be more outcome-based in our focus in cybersecurity just in general. Again, as we try to solve the problem du jour, hey, we have a new threat, we need a new tool, that exacerbates the problems. It adds more complexity, and complexity at the end of the day is the enemy of a good security posture. It drives up cost. And again, our IT environment isn't getting simpler, it's getting more complex as we go to the cloud and go to mobile and go to IoT. So we need a more simplified architectural approach where the tools work together and we're really partnered as a vendor with our federal agencies.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think another key point or discriminator is that the solution sets that we're obviously a technical resale partner of Symantec for with the Navy, we can look across the Navy programs of where we've deployed similar solution sets on ships, on boats, ashore in those environments, and help the customer understand pros and cons of those technologies, how they integrate with the rest of the technical architecture, and then what the benefits will be at the end of the day. So we can very clearly and distinctly describe, based on the problem set, what solutions exist to help meet their mission need. So that's a benefit for sure.
Okay. We've talked about how Thundercat and Symantec are working together, but and you've talked about how complementary your skills and capabilities are, but basically just lay it out on the table. What are the two roles, the overall roles for your two firms?
Oh, great question. So Symantec is the world-leading cybersecurity company. So we have over $5 billion in revenue. We've got the broadest product portfolio in the market. Many of the folks will be familiar with our consumer product, Norton Antivirus and LifeLock. We're the owners of LifeLock, but we have, again, the world-leading cybersecurity product portfolio, and we've got a breadth of solution, everything from data loss prevention technology to endpoint technology to cloud security platforms to boundary tech. So we are a software and hardware manufacturer and increasingly a cloud service provider as well.
Right. And then our position as a reseller, for us to be authorized to resell Symantec solutions, we have to be technically certified in anything that we're proposing to the customer. So we are an extension of the Symantec sales team as their sales arm, but also a technical resource to help align the technical capabilities to meet the mission need and the problem sets. And as a service-able veteran-owned small business, it helps, some of the set aside. And I guess the point is most of us are disabled vets or have veteran backgrounds, so we're very focused on the mission. And then also having the technical certifications, access to the customer and understanding the mission sets and the solutions to tie all that together. That makes a big discriminator with Thundercat and Symantec as partners.
And as I mentioned before, Bob, there's no single vendor that can solve all these solutions and bring this comprehensive architecture. We need partners, and we need partners that bring in third parties to augment the capabilities gaps that we have. And that's really that partnership relationship that we have with Thundercat and with the Navy. Hey, if there's a problem that the Navy has or a mission need that they have and we don't have a solution for it or we don't have the best solution for it, we'll look to our partners at Thundercat and third parties. And in fact, we just established a technology partnership program. We have 149 other technology partners. Many of them are competitors that have subscribed to this to really help the interoperability and bring those true architectures to bear and kind of get out of this whole product mentality.
Did either Thundercat or Symantec have to overcome any hurdles to working together on this?
Well, I think the hurdle for us as a reseller is, to Chris's point, we have so many partnerships with different technology providers. We have to be very selective about which partners we like to form partnerships with. Obviously, Symantec is a world-renowned technology company in the cybersecurity space, so that's why we've selected them as one of our partners. So I'd say because there are so many vendors in that pool, if you will, that technology vertical, we have to be very selective. So that's something we have to overcome with, not being distracted by every shiny new tool that wants support from a reseller like us. So that's something we have to overcome on a daily basis for sure.
And it's similar for us at Symantec. We partners with strategic partners that have expertise in a particular area in terms of cybersecurity, that they've got folks that are trained and capable and are relevant to the customers. They have that mission relationship with the customer, and that understand from a technology integration standpoint how to bring these solutions to bear in support of our customer's mission. And there aren't a lot of partners out there with those capabilities.
One of the big challenges in any military service procurement is, do you give the service what it wants or do you give it what it needs? So first I'm going to ask you, how does this BPA ensure that the Navy gets what it wants?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they get what they want by helping to identify, again, the problem, and then the solutions are there waiting to meet that need. So that's how they get what they want, and they get it very quickly that way. So
I think it's incumbent upon us as vendors, whether it's Symantec or any of the other technology vendors out there, again, to really partner with our customers and educate them on where things are going. And we have a tremendous depth of resources. We've got threat researchers out there. We have people that are thinking about what endpoint and mobile technologies are going to look like 5 or 10 years down the road. Let's expose those resources and thought leaders to our customers so that they can better understand from our perspective where things are going, so that we get better alignment in terms of developing and implementing these solutions. Again, I really think, if you look collectively at the cybersecurity problem, the way we're going to solve it is better communication between industry and government. And that starts with, hey, let's not just start communicating around an RFI or an internally developed requirement, but let's really share information and bring the resources that we have to bear with our customers to think through the problem, and let's solve the problem before we start plugging products in.
Yeah, for sure.
You both talked about how much in the way of resources that you have to apply to the solutions to serve the Navy's needs. How much flexibility does this BPA provide for you to perhaps change an approach along the way or respond to some changes when the Navy decides its needs have changed?
Well, I guess the short answer is the BPA, since all of the hardware and software and maintenance options exist on that blanket purchase agreement, it allows us to help do solutioning and, again, not identify a technical capability first, but identify a solution and architecture. And then we can pick from that myriad of options that the Symantec portfolio brings. So then it kind of ties the need and the want together into the same offering. So it's not just pushing something that they've asked for, but also helping to educate them, as Chris said, educate them on what's the state of technology today, what options there are that exist, and then that helps to align the capabilities for them.
Yeah, the Navy team that awarded the contract, the procurement office there, they really know what they're doing, and they built in a lot of flexibility into the BPA to be able to add future technology. You know, again, as quickly as the space is evolving, there's going to be capabilities that we want to add to this 3 years down the road that we don't know we need today, and the Navy contract was structured as such that allows us to add that flexibility.
So you would really define it as the classical win-win.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Well, all right then. Gentlemen, thank you very much. That concludes our Signal Executive video. I'd like to thank Vince and Chris for their perspectives, and to you, the audience, our thanks for joining us. Have a good day.